What up, baby? What's going on? Hey, we got the Vinny and Will show. Hey, talking American football worldwide. Hey, I'm
Yeah,
Will. I got
I'm
my boy
Vinny.
Vinny.
Let's go.
What's going on?
I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, man, Vinny is eager right now because the World Cup is going. So he has to get ready because Belgium
Yeah.
is about to play. But we got a guest for you guys tonight, man. Hey, Vinny, let them know a little bit of our guest, man.
Um, I got to know him when I started playing. He was already in very deep into football. Played for the local team that I started at in Austin's, the Austin Pirates. He was already a captain on that team. He was a very important player at a very young age already for them. Is a guy that I always looked up to, playing, a very high football IQ guy, guy that I learned a lot from. Also on the mental part of the game. Um, a guy that was also a captain on the national team when I played for them. I'm very I look up very much to him. It's He has become a very close friend to me, because of football. So let's bring him in, Nick Vanhee.
Oh, man, here we go, Nick. Let's bring him in.
So, guys, thank you. Appreciate it to be on this podcast. Thank you for the introduction. Been around football for a long time. I was already playing when Vinny started. Happy to be here. I hope I can contribute to this podcast, and we finally made it after talking about it for
Yeah,
weeks.
it's been a long time.
The agenda finally came through. So here we are. Let's go.
Get it.
Absolutely, bro. Hey, thank you for coming on, man. Hey, like I was telling you in the green room, right in the back, this guy is a local legend in Belgium. Everywhere I went, man, they talk about him as a Mike linebacker, about what a leader he is on the field and the way that he's able to embrace other players and bring them in. So Nick, all these accolades are on you, man. Hey, how did your story start? How did you start playing this game? How did you observe football? What brought you into this game, brother?
Well, I'm thinking right now as a retired veteran almost. So I've been playing football for 16 years now. I've been watching football probably when I was around 13 or 14 years old, when it was back
Okay.
on ESPN America on the local television. So I kind of rolled into, because my dad was a huge fan. He used to watch American football back when he was younger. But then there weren't that many clubs. Like I remember him going to some local clubs, but back in the day, you used to have to be the biggest or the ugliest dude to play American football, and that's just how I went. So it wasn't that really spectacular. But then when I started watching, I went to find where there were teams active. And then when I went to middle school, I came across some other guys who played then for the West Flandern tribes back in the days. So that's how I kind of went rolling. So I started when I was 16, turning 17 that year. There was no youth teams going on. So you kind of just hop in to play with the big boys. And then you get a quick reality check, because everything you watch on television, now you have to go and came across to play yourself. It was really amazing experience. So I started my career there for 2 years. And then Austin and Isham decided to go separate ways. Each found their own team, so Isgam Tribes and then the Austin Pirates. Luckily for me, when I started, I was 18 years old, and then there was this called Football University, where Cecil Martin, an ex-running back from the Philadelphia Eagles, came to Europe to kind of found an all-Europe junior team to play abroad, play against other teams or nations. So it was like, okay, I've been playing for 1 year, but just I want to get into football. So every camp I came across, I just went to. And then it was in the summer camp in Brussels. They did like Amsterdam, then I think in London, then another in France and Austria. And then I started playing as a tight end. So before I became a middle linebacker, or went to the dark side of the football life, I started on the offense. I just had a knack for the game. I had a great hand-eye coordination, and they were short on tight end or receivers with the tribe. So I kind of rolled into as my rookie year. I had a great workout and a great camp with the FBU, and I got drafted to play for the Europe junior team. It was this, it just gave me goosebumps. I still remember it to the day. It was amazing. We got 4 guys selected. Belgian selected to play. Then we played against Canada and Mexico. And so I was just turning 18. Okay, let's go play against Canada. Watching some film where you kind of could find not that much on YouTube or whatever platforms. But then, dude, just had the biggest reality check I ever had. You play against Canadians playing American football, your same age, so someone 18, 19, maybe 17, but they were so much bigger, faster, better than us. That was crazy. And that's when I kind of switched it to the 2.0 version of, okay, now we got to start hitting the gym, got to be more active with American football, be more deep into the game, all the tendencies, all these kind of things, because I hate to get my ass kicked like that again. So then the year when the Pirates and the Tribes started their own team, I still played in Austin then. There wasn't a season, so the first time you found your team, you can be in the season with the BAFL rules. So then the year after, we played our first season. Wasn't that bad. We went to the semifinals because we had a lot of veterans coming from the West London Tribes. So the core was okay, didn't have that much depth, and there was the upcoming of young kids like myself then. And then it was like 2 to 3 years, then we had that young core of all the players who just wanted to get better at football, like treating it as professional football, even in this amateur world and in Belgium, where everybody thinks we're playing rugby still instead of American football. And then and it is.
Hey,
it
you
is.
ain't lying, brother. You ain't lying.
It is what it is, unfortunately. But times are changing, though. But to get back to then in 2015, we went on to the finals just by pure grit. We hadn't have the best team in the league then, but we just had some veterans and all young kids with really, really greedy mindset, upcoming talents. And they said that we played against the Angels, and they said, yeah, the score will be like 45 to maybe 6. Because some guy said that the grass was too tall, so the Pirates will score one time to keep the Angels from their offensive rolling. That was an amazing game, really defensive. Just can't remember the score right now, but I had an amazing game. Was crowned defensive MVP of the Belgian Bowl, and then I was like, okay, I can do much better than this still, because we're in the national level. But then the next year we came across another challenge. Then I went to the Amsterdam Crusaders to try to challenge myself on a different level. Went on to play for the Crusaders, and they dominated the league in the Netherlands. But they also went to play the tournament, the Big Six. That was like kind of mini Champions League from all the best teams in Europe. And then we played back then against the Braunschweig Lions. That was the second time I got manhandled really, really bad, because back then they were the champs of Europe. GFL 1 was then the top of whole Europe. you had the smallest guy was their center, 2 meters, 160 kilos. Everybody on that team was just solid, and they were the best of the best from whole Europe, even Americans. You still have the rules back then where you can only have that many Americans on the field, but yeah, let's not go into that deep. And then we played against the Badalona Dragons in Spain. First of all, too hot to play in at the artificial field, so that was also not really convenient. But we won that game, and I really enjoyed my time there. But then the year after, we decided to buy a house here. So, with work and the house and everything, I didn't go back for the second year in Amsterdam. But then I was already playing, I think, 2 or 3 years for the national team, where it first founded by Lee Roski as just the start of the whole national team program. And then in my first year, I got elected as a captain as well. So that was a great honor. And I like to think myself as trying to be the smartest guy on the field, but also try to help each other get better and stimulate and get everybody on the right place. So I'm maybe not be the most vocal guy, but I'll try to support everybody in around me to maximize their potential. And if I can name one linebacker, I kind of brought my game to mirror him. It would be Luke Kuechly. I really think if you're the smartest guy on the field and you prepare and you scout and everything, and you have already won most of the battle on the field before it even started, and then it's only the next thing is the athleticism and all the other stuff. But that is kind of my game through my whole career. Even when I played in Amsterdam, there were a lot of great athletes, but I always tried to be the smartest guy on the field. That was kind of my thing. Because I might not have been the strongest, fastest, or most athletic guy on the field. So you have to know what you're good at and what your pros, your cons, whatever you want to call it. And I kind of went into let's maximize my trait here to even support everybody around me. And I brought that to the national team, where I played, it was 8 years until Corona hit. So when in 2020, the national team program got shut down. And unfortunately, that was also the ending of my international career, because I had signed with the Marburg Mercenaries back then. Was also GFL 1, so that would have been the greatest accolade of my career. But unfortunately, couldn't go across the border. So that dream came abruptly to an end. American football in Belgium and Europe or all over the world got a really, really big hit due to Corona. And then I kind of in Corona went a little bit more on the backside of football, because I started a family. I was more like, even if I can't, I don't want to put it, get the maximum out of my career because of Corona. Like in Belgium, with all due respect to all the teams, if you play for another, you're still in the same league. Like you cannot challenge yourself better if you join the same league on another team.
Exactly.
So I kind of went like, okay, which team could use the most help right now? And then I kind of went like searching, and really a lot of teams were asking like, okay, we need a couple of guys and leaders on our team to get the young guys going, new coaching staff, etc. And I was like, maybe this is my calling, getting into from a player to a coach, and maybe like even be more supportive, because I like to think about the strategy and be the smartest player on the field. And then I went to the shotguns, limber shotguns, because they were like rebuilding after a long time of absence in the league. They went from D2 to D1, and then I kind of went there to be supported for 2 years, and then went back. And at the same time, I was like, okay, so if I'm not going to try to be the greatest player I want to be on the next level, because there is no more opportunities, because internationally there was no idea how Corona would have hit and when we could restart playing. So I kind of stopped searching, if you know what I mean. And then I was like, what if I use this moment to start my own team? That was just a dream, talking about it with friends and stuff. And then I went on to play 2 seasons in it's like more 1 year and a half, because the season overlapped 1 year. And with the Shotguns. And then the year after that, I went to the Tribes, or the Castel Nitros at the time. But I was already going into the idea of having my own team, just to be more supportive and to grow the game. That was my biggest instinct. So I kind of went like fading away as my playing career, because I still play the game to today, but I no longer had these certain challenges to go to other teams or
you already have fulfilled that as a player. You have no need now to be like, hey, you know what? I've already given what I wanted to give.
Exactly.
In that aspect, now you want to give in a different way.
I want to give more back to football, to the whole community, to all other teams, to just maximize everything. That is my instinct and the biggest idea. So 4 years ago, with talking about it like with friends, and then you could have said like, okay, first I'm going to play, then I'm going to start coaching, and then eventually we'll see starting your own team or stuff. And I was like, okay, so Corona hit, couldn't get the maximum out of my playing career. I was like, okay, why wouldn't I start my team right now? Why? Like, I know there's a pros, there's cons, the challenges. And then like a lot of guys told me, dude, you're crazy. Corona just hit. American football is a big question mark in Belgium. We don't know when we're going to play. And you're thinking about starting a team where we can't even go train outside. And I was like, maybe you're right. I was like back and forth, talking to myself, talking to other guys, and even talking to my wife. And then I was like, damn, fuck it. I'm just going to start my own team. Let's go. It was just plain simple like this. Like, I will not wait until I'm 40 or 50 to go start proing. I was like, I can still play, so I can start my own team, coach them, help out on the field, even play where needed, and still support and challenge the new players. And that's kind of my career. I'm still playing till today now for my own team. And the national team roster got out, so I got selected again. We'll see how that goes. So 16 years in, still going strong.
Lots of Ben Gay, lots of freaking icy hot. You got those. Just get warmed up, get good and stretched out before practice.
Yeah. Like last year, I had the most unfortunate moment. That was the biggest injury I had of my career. I had broken my ankle on 3 places. So kind of my leg and ankle. Unfortunately, I had a really good specialist, great surgery, spent a lot of time with the physiotherapy and all those kind of stuff. I feel nothing is bothering me from that injury. So I'm really grateful that it was only that. I could still play and walk and still provide for my family, because at the end of the day, that's the main concern. But you know what? I'm still going strong, still playing. We'll see until what age, but I'm still ready to go. So I'm talking about my career not as a retired veteran, but still as a player. that kind of sums it up. We'll see where it takes us. We'll see where it goes. But that's about it.
No, man, and you've had quite a story, man. I love the fact that you were able to take us from when you first began all the way now that you are actually the owner of a team, right? And you are running a team and looking at the ins and outs and the backside of it, right? So when you talk about making that transition, right, from saying, "Hey, I'm just going to be a player," to "I'm going to be a player owner," because that's where kind of you're in the middle of right now. What has been the hardest part of that transition for you?
Jeez, good question. I would say timing, because having your own team is like having a second job. It's full time job. If you're not approaching it as full time job, it will not go well. It's like in certain situations where you're wearing three hats at a time: the player, the coach, owner. You got to switch it up every time when you're talking to the other coaches, the other players, from the seniors and the youth program, even now the flag football. It's kind of trying to find a healthy balance in between, whether you know when to talk and address everybody as the owner, as the president of the team, like, okay, this is the situation right now. This is what's changing. This is the way we're trending to go, to on the field as a coach, trying to get the guys better. And then as a player, where you're standing behind, next, or in front of them, holding them accountable and just stimulate them to play football. So that's kind of the different levels of where I'm at right now. I would say that's the hardest part about this, because this is where I'm trying to go to find other coaches, other players, more players, where I can only fulfill the job of the owner and do that with 100%. Because now I have to distribute my energy, time, and
Yep.
that's the hardest part. It's also a learning curve. I'm 33 years old. I've only worked one job, which I'm really grateful for. I'm still doing my job with a tremendous amount of love. I'm really good at my job. But there was a new challenge for me as owning a team, and all the certain stuff financially, organizationally, all these kind of things structured between your team. It's also been a lesson, and the biggest thing I've learned, also the hard way, is this is not something you can do alone. So you have to support, and get people around you who are sharing your vision, sharing your idea, and want to go with you on the same adventure, because that's the only way it will grow. And that's kind of how we started as well, because we had a few guys who were not playing in the team, and they've also all told me, like, if you start a team, I'm coming back. I play one more year, maybe 2 years. We'll see. I will try to help and contribute to the adventure of the Bruges Broncos. So I was like, okay, I have a small core of players who weren't active, and that was like the little core to start. And I was like, okay, I'm not by myself here, trying to go start a team from zero. And then we kind of went like, okay, the American football team, went to a lot of schools, a lot of public places, just sharing the idea. And then the first year we had like 18 or 19 new guys who weren't into the American football world, completely new. And that's for me, the best part about this is just teaching these guys American football and helping them to evolve, yeah, evolve in their career. And some guys, play only 2, 3, maybe 4 years, and that's okay. Not everybody has to have a long career, and we all have different challenges for ourselves. And also there were guys like starting which were older than me, they just want to play American football. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, we got to be really smart about this because he still got a job at that age playing American football. It's risk reward ratio, and then yeah, really fortunately we didn't have that many major injuries. We had a couple of young guys. Somebody tore his ACL and MCL like in first, I think the second game probably in the first season. I was like, how did this happen? Because I'm holding myself accountable for this. And then I went back to that guy, and he was like, yeah, this knee been bothering me for like 2 years, and he's at the sports school, and was like, dude, you're trying to play Merc football with a bad knee.
Yeah.
Kid was 17 or 18 years old, and that's when I realized, okay, I have to approach this at a second level. I have to talk to all these guys. I have to know their medical status, and
Exactly.
that was also a lesson which I failed the first season because I didn't think of it. I was like, okay, everybody is like, I want to play American football. Everybody's healthy. Then I'm gonna teach them, and gradually they'll get better at it. But that was also something where I'm wearing the other hat as the owner, as a coach. Dude, I gotta hold myself responsible for this. This cannot happen again. And those were also lessons which I yeah, unfortunately for the situation, I'm happy to have had in the first year, because those things, they cannot happen twice. If that happens twice, that is not good. Even if it's with younger guys, and especially like I said before, if you have guys working on a job and they're trying to play American football and they risk of losing their job, I don't want to have that on my conscience. We're playing Belgian football. This is not pro contract. You're not gonna get rich by playing. Even if you're lucky, maybe in the now AFL or all the other names in Europe, you might get some money out of it, but you will never get rich out of football in Europe. So if you're young and you might get a chance to go play college ball and get into maybe the NFL or CFL or any other football, that's where the money is. So that is also something I told my guys in Bruges, like, hey, we're a new team. This is a level bottom of the bottom. We're gonna try to build up and be a sustainable team. So we started an adult team. Now we have the youth program, and kind of expanding that way over the years, which we've been able to do. We've played 3 seasons, didn't have to forfeit one game. So that was also one of our milestones to achieve every season. And sometimes we play really good football. Other times we play really bad football. It's just the way it goes. And especially as long as we don't get to the numbers of like 30, 35 players. Like right now, this year, we had, I think, 50-50 rookies to experienced players. So, shit will go south sometimes. And that's just the way it is. And it was no difference in the first year. The first year we had a really good defense, hardly could score any points. And the second year we went on to, ball in. We played our first game, won our first game against the Mustangs, who are now in D1. They only lost that season to us. So we had that certain level, we can roll with the big boys in D2. But then game 2, I got injured, then some other guys, and we had to shift. We don't have 5 quarterbacks and 10 players to rotate at certain positions. Yeah. So that's the biggest challenge, even as a player, coach, and owner, because I don't want to put anybody else in certain harm's way. So I'm filling the spots. I've played this season almost every game triple A's, offense, defense, special teams, just to give somebody else rest. Because I always have this phrase like the old guys have to die first. It's just how it goes. But yeah, so that's my career. That's my team. This is the situation we're in. I'm really grateful. We're still growing. We're still building. and I hope to stimulate other guys to do the same. We need more teams, we need more players, we need the American football to grow. The communities need to grow. So in some future we can have a certain level of competition to roll with the rest of Europe. But it starts with us, as I told you during Corona. I think since then maybe 4 teams already franchises folded, stopped doing their thing, or went only maybe youth, only flag football. Like, we have to stimulate those teams to come back, and it takes only a handful of people like myself just go after it, and you will get shit on, you will have a lot of bumps on the road, but you have to keep going, and like I told you, surround yourself with people who share your vision, share your idea. Like Vinny, he told me when he came back from playing in Germany, hey man, look, we've been friends for a long time, I want to help you out in Bruges. And he did. He kept his word, helped us out. Unfortunately, he got injured.
Yeah.
The
4th game of the season.
Yeah, kind of maybe my doing. So
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, man, things happen, but
It is football.
Collateral damage.
Yeah,
But,
that's fine.
Yeah.
It is
So
what it is.
I think that's about it. Sums it up.
So, Nick, let's talk about that, man. I could feel it in your voice how difficult and how hard that is when you're building your team and you're playing several different hats. I mean, you said it. I'm not only the owner. I have I have to play quarterback sometimes. I think you've played quarterback. I've seen you on film on quarterback. I think I've seen you everywhere on the field.
Yeah. The only position I haven't played is cornerback.
Yes. We have yet to see that yet. But so here's the thing, right? When you talk about that, talk about how hard it is, man, to coach, play. Because at the same time, I'm like, you also, as a player, are looking to develop, are looking to grow, right? So I'll be like, how hard is that when you're like trying to coach somebody up because you're coaching, right? You're installing an offense, you're installing a defense, you got special teams, you're teaching offensive line, defensive line, quarterbacks, wide receivers. I'd be like, whoever you don't have, you're basically coaching. I know this because I've coached in Belgium. I'm like, you basically, I'm just lucky that I'm not a player coach, right? Because I'm like, I just coach. Because if you play, like, you're focusing on your position, you're trying to teach others. You have to be able to watch all that, and I know that can be frustrating and difficult because you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, as a coordinator, I have a vision. I say, hey, I want my defense to play like this. I need to be able to see all those 11 pieces moving at once. So I have a defensive backs coach. I have a linebackers coach. I have an offensive line coach or defensive line coach. Shoot, we even might even have a spare DBs coach out there because I'd be like, I've seen so many DBs coaches that I'm like, man, you can collect them like they're collectibles. All of them are wide receiver coaches and everybody is a DBs coach in Europe. But nowhere. But if you talk to them about technique and you talk to them about that, that's where you start finding weaknesses, right? But you take what you can get because that's what's available. So how difficult is that, man, when you're trying to master your stuff, but at the same time, you see everything else at the same time? You're like, hey, how do you adjust to that, man? Because at the same time, in a game, I'm emotional on defense. I'm an emotional leader on defense. When people see me as a defensive coordinator, bro, I'm a ball of fucking fire, right? I'm an emotional leader that leads their defense through emotion, through all that. But you're not only the defensive leader, You're the offensive leader. You're everything. So let me know, man.
Before you answer that, I do want to say me and Will actually were in a situation where we had the same type of thing happen to us when we were at a certain team in Belgium, where the owner was a player, and out of experience, I can tell you already that Nick is doing a way better job at managing his emotions between all those roles and on the field, uh, especially if we can compare it to what we've been through on the other team. So I take it as a compliment.
Appreciate it.
It's something that I've noticed through experience that it can probably be hard to be doing all those things at the same time and still be focused on the game. So I think you've been doing a great job with that, especially with having so many young guys on a field that you still need to coach up. Even during a game, having to explain a lot of shit while in the huddle, while not having that much time to actually
Yeah,
do that.
that is not easy, brother. So yeah, hey man, if Vinny's saying that you're doing a great job of that, kudos to you,
Thanks.
brother. I'll be like,
Appreciate
absolutely,
it.
because I know, like I said, as a coach, I'm sitting there like, man, I'm an emotional leader, but I'm able to see everything, and I'm able to address everything on the sideline when my defense comes off. You have said it. I don't come off the field.
Exactly.
Like you're on offense, you're on defense, you're on special teams. So
Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest challenges we faced so far. Because as long as I'm on the field, I cannot coach the guys on the sideline, and you're trying to have these things done by other people, other coaches or other captains or
Sure.
players. It's just the situation it is, and I think I've been clear about this with the whole team. That's just how it goes, because I told them I will die on the field for every player on my team, because we have a great group, we have a good vibe, and that's kind of like the sacrifice I'm willing to make to not jeopardize somebody else. If you feel me as just as a player. But the hardest part is the transition between player and coach, because when I'm a player, and the moment I step on the field, I'm blacking out. I'm in the zone until the final whistle. I cannot explain how I do it, why I do it. It's just, I think, one of my strengths, but also maybe right now as a coach, one of my weaknesses, because I keep going and I'm in the flow. I'm like guiding players all around the field, saying this is the play, whatever is going on. But then sometimes I cannot see and everything else is going on to help these guys also in certain situations. So that's the hardest part, because the moment you're on the field, like I've chosen 4 other captains, so I've never been a captain of my own team, because I need other guys supporting me in those roles. And then going from a player to coach, even if it's a couple of seconds, you kind of like on the field, everybody's known the game plan. We've done our scouting report, and then that's where the mayhem and the chaos happens. You're into the game. The other team does something else. Shit goes south, and that's where from a player you would say, okay, I will fix that. I will fix that. Okay, just do that. I will take that double team or whatever is going on. But you have to like have the awareness to maybe let them eat those blocks, undergo, get some experience in, and when everything's on film, that's when the coaching comes in. Like at the practices, we do 2 practices a week, and sometimes one extra in the preseason where you have day camp or weekend camp or something like that, or maybe a scrimmage. But right now we have 2 practices, so 2 times 2 hours. You got warm up, you got agilities, whatever's going on, depending on which one.
you got 3 hours really. Let's
Exactly.
3 because water breaks.
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
guy that tackles somebody and gets injured every other
Yeah.
play. Yeah, I got you, baby. I got you.
and then maybe like in practice, it's easier to make the transition, because I've always done the same approach for myself as a player that I try to do, bring to my other guys on the team. Like, you need to be your own coach. Like, you need a coach to kind of like put you on the spot. Like, this, that's the wrong technique. You have to do that, and then the why comes in. And I've always like tried to surround myself with coaches who are at the bigger level to learn from them. But when they aren't there, you have to find them. So that's where you have the internet. That's where you have the NFL, the college, everything. And you go study, 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 study. So all the time when I'm doing the practice, there's a tremendous amount of hours going into study all the positions, like you mentioned.
Yeah, yeah. I
This,
got you.
this is
I understand.
it's also part of the adventure. I knew that from the start, so you won't ever hear me complain about it. And now we've been building on. We got a couple of coaches doing, got the O line, we got a D line coach, we got a defensive coordinator, and then we're getting there. But yeah, we're a new team. We've been for 4 years, 3 seasons, and that's the hardest part from going player to coach and going back. Where as a coach, you give the drills and then you teach them the techniques, the tendencies, the whole ABC from American football. But then the moment you put your own gear on, you can challenge your team as a player, no longer as a coach. To get that certain level, doesn't matter the position, you want to teach them. I'm not trying to say the hard way, but by example. That's
Yeah,
where I have still the situation that I play football, where I can like coach and then show it. Like,
Yep.
it's not like this is the drill, go execute. I'll watch. I'll tell you. So this is kind of in my favor to say it like this. Where I just we explain, we challenge each other, and these are the things we want to work on. And next time we keep building on that, watch some film, correct some stuff, and then go back to the other hat as a coach. Like, this is the shit you've been doing wrong. This is the shit you've been doing great. Keep it that way, and filter and try to brick by brick. So I would say this is for me both the hardest part and the easiest part, because it kind of intervenes in one another, where I can go quickly from a coach to a player and back. But it's also, you need to have somebody coaching them the whole practice, because when I'm with one group, I can't be with the other. And then you need to hold them accountable, and keep the I want to say the whip on them, but gotta keep challenge on them, and maximize the drills. That's the hardest part. About, I cannot be everywhere at the same time, and especially when I'm doing the drills as a player, there's nobody to coach me beside myself. So
yeah,
I know what to do, but am I doing it correctly? I can only watch it on film, but not on the spot. So this is the balance you have to accept. But it's been the biggest challenge. It's for me to develop myself as a coach, as a player, and an owner. All the different hats. I will not change it for the world, except have 10 coaches right off the street going plug and play. Let's go.
you
But
know what, man?
that's
Hey,
not the real world. So yeah, that
yeah,
that kind of, I would not change it any other way. It's just how it is, being player, coach, and owner. Like Vinny said, you have to know when certain things you can say would help, would not help. Because trust me, I have a lot of game film to show you where I just kind of want to eat my own hat. But it doesn't kind of, yeah, it doesn't kind of
hey, we
help
all
them.
do. We
Yeah,
all
yeah,
do, brother.
it,
Absolutely.
it is what it is, because with all these young kids or rookies on the team, you have to accept that that's just the way
Yep.
it's gonna be, and then you kind of try to build on from that, and every game has to be an improvement, to build a successful future. Yeah, so that's it.
No. Hey, bro, and you hit it on the head. Like, here's the thing: you are starting a program from scratch, right? With limited knowledge, with limited people that that are in positions of knowledge as well, right? So you're doing the best that you can. You're scraping through. You're making it happen. Right now, what it is, Vinny and I have talked about this, right? And this is where we were going to ask you in the perfect world, where it comes to you, like already having this experience now that you've attained it now.
Mhm.
How do you build a successful, sustainable program inside of Belgium? Because we understand that Belgium is tough. Okay. It's a
Yeah.
tough market. There's a lot of people that live really close to each other with a bunch of teams. And then there's a bunch of space where there's no teams. But the thing is, there's limited coaches, there's limited availability. So if you were to redo it again, right? Say you could go back and talk to Nick 4 years ago when he was starting the Broncos. What are the things that you would give him advice on, and what would you tell him to, hey, the way that you would do it now, if there's little tweaks and changes that you would make?
Well, first of all, I would say it's not because there's a lack of talent, because I've seen players in Belgium playing in different leagues. I've been a
100%.
part of it with the national team, so it's kind of more like you need ways to find them. And I would say, because I've like the team is now up and active for 4 years. I've been to a lot of schools, doing a lot of initiations and sport days for the different programs. I would say keep doing that, but you got to make sure you get earlier into certain networks where right now it was they've put us next to a rugby club
Hmm.
because the sport board and from the city of Bruges they had no idea what was American football in general,
Mhm.
so they thought it's just kind of like rugby, so the same goals now, same field. We're gonna go that way. So that was the biggest challenge. To overcome. Like now, since March, we have our own field
Nice.
and an own building with another organization. So that is the biggest challenge you have to face early on. Try to find something for yourself, for your team, where you can bit by bit, build your community and youth. You need youth in your program to set foundations for later on. So that was something um, I kind of did after the first year. So we focused one thing at a time, which I think we've done great. We tried to go with an adult team. We founded the seniors. And then the first year we just practiced a whole, kind of more like a bit more than half a year. We only did practice and build some day camps and stuff. And then during that summer, I started the flag football U15. I had three kids that I knew who were friends of mine at the age of, I think, somewhere 12, 13, 14 between that. And they say, oh, yeah, man, look, I'm at football. I really want to do that. I love watching you play. And then I was like, hey, let's go. I got my own team. Let's give you guys football, which is something we never had. Oh, I never had
Mhm.
back then to start playing football. Even if it is flag football, it's like the aspect of American football, all the action stuff is in it, except the tackling and the blocking. All the rest is in it. You got the QB throwing the ball, you got receivers running routes, you got coverage, you got this, that, all these things, all the techniques, the footwork, etc. So the foundation starts with that, and then by year two, we expanded the U program. We got another H in, and doing more this year. And I think that will be the biggest thing I would say to myself through 4 years ago. Make sure you go as fast as possible to find something for yourself and build your own thing, your own ID into a community where they know, okay, oh, that's the blue and white, that's Bruges Broncos, that's American football. Because when you walk in Bruges, everything you see is black and blue, and it's all soccer, the Club Bruges. it is what it is. But you see everybody walking around the streets with clothes or trainers or hats or whatever. So that is something I want to change. Try to bring the white and blue colors all around,
It's
which
gonna
will
be
be
hard. It's
the
gonna be hard.
hardest thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but if if you're not dreaming that way, why even start?
Yeah, true.
So I don't know. I wouldn't change anything more than trying to figure out who are your closest guys who buy into your idea and want to help you out, and find those guys. Like, talk to every guy you've played with. Try to, I got my dad back into American football. He's coaching again.
Yeah.
And then it kind of rolls by itself, meaning you cannot stop there. Like, okay, now we had a team. Let's lay back, sip on some Bacardi. That's not it. That's not it. You have to keep pushing, trying to find new things, new schools. There's always certain people you haven't talked to or certain areas you haven't been to. So keep doing that. Luckily, I have like I said, a great job where I can just put in an off day and go give an initiation. I have other guys in the team who are also really flexible at their work. So kind of sums it up. It's you need guys around you, but it also starts by yourself. Like, I cannot command other guys doing certain things, and like I told myself and everything else, I try to lead by example. Even the good and the bad things, you have to filter out. So yeah, I wouldn't change anything. Like, persistence, fighting through adversity, keep going, keep grinding, and in the end, it will come true. Keep going. um, but you cannot give up. It doesn't matter how many people want to see you fail. Keep going, even how hard it is. It doesn't matter if it's financially, sportive wise, organizationally. Keep going, keep going, and yeah, keep going. That kind of the idea I'm holding myself accountable to not give up and quit, because it's not for myself I'm doing it. It's for all the guys who want to play American football in the area around Bruges or wherever they come from.
Hmm. I wanna I wanna say something though, because you talked about the close group of people that helped you with it, but I feel like you didn't mention one very important person. Well, you might have like calling it with the group, but I think she deserves a big shout out too, and it's your wife, Julie.
Yeah, yeah.
She's been doing a lot of the behind the scenes work, and I think she's been a very
Top
yeah,
everything.
exactly. She's been doing such a great job about still doing so much shit that people don't know and realize that is happening behind the scenes, while
Mhm.
still being a mother to the children. Even on game
Yeah,
days, she's working, taking care of the kids, running onto the field if someone is injured. Like, it's crazy to see her do all that, and I'm very impressed with how supportive she is with everything you do, and how big of an impact she has on the group of players. Also, I think she's very loved by everyone. She's kind of like the mom of the team, and it's a very
yeah, man.
family feeling that we have with the group, and I think she's a big part of that.
Yeah, like, without her, there's no Bruges Broncos. She bought in. We did. We shared the same dream. We went for it. Like, you guys asked me to talk about my career and the team, but there's nothing without her. So it's really important to have the biggest support on your sideline in your own house, through all the good and the bad. But yeah, like Vinny mentioned, she's where I'm trying to focus on everything else on the field, and maybe next to she does everything else. So she's the major cornerstone of our organization, and yeah, people are are happy to be involved with our team also because of her joining our crew staff, joining the management board, because it's a certain vibe, it's a certain atmosphere we try to create, and right now it's really good. Like I said, last year was really unfortunate, but now this year, if you don't look at the scoreboards, we really had a good year. And it doesn't go without her being part of it, 100%. Like, man, I could talk another hour about her or football. But yeah, for sure, Vinny. So I appreciate you saying that, 100%.
Absolutely, bro. Hey, we ain't nothing without our wives, bro. Like, you're only
Very
as strong
true.
as the person
Very
that backs
true.
you, bro.
Hey, I gave her the cherry on the cake. We got married last month, so right
Exactly.
now I'm all good. Let's keep going after football. Yeah, no, man. Like that's also something I want to address. Like being as a player and get supported by captains around you or other players, your wife and other people around you. They're so important. Otherwise,
It is.
you kind of fade away, and you might lose track of yourself, like for who and why am I doing all these crazy things, all the sacrifices, because like it's been for so many years. Either I'm working the weekends or the night shift, and then it's also practice with the national team, and then our season comes back in, and having two kids around, it's I have 10 hours short each day to do everything I want to do, providing for the family and then building more into football. It's just how it goes. So it's like I mentioned, just keep going. Keep going. We cannot quit now. Fight through adversity. Keep building. If it's my family here back home or my family in the team, or even in other teams or the national team, I kind of like you owe it to yourself. Not everybody has to be that way. It's kind of who I am. So I want to help everybody out to bring the maximum of their potential, if it's on the field or off the field. I try to be as supportive as I can be to keep everybody on the right path. Doesn't matter which direction they want to go.
Yep.
It's just
It's very true.
just who I am, how we kind of like our vision. That's our vision. That's the dream. So here we are.
So, talking about your dream, man, one last question before we let you go, Nick.
So Vinny can watch the soccer game.
Yep.
Yeah, so Vinny can watch the soccer because he's desperately trying.
I've been eyeing the clock like every 5 minutes. I'm like, I need to be on time.
We're gonna talk that much longer, and game's in 15 minutes. This dude, no. Shoot, Will.
So, what's the next step for the Bruges Broncos? What's your next step? I mean, like, what's your next move in order for you to keep building this beautiful thing?
The next step is to go more recruiting. Trying to be at the top of Division 2, one step at a time. To have like the aiming point right now is to have 35 players.
Cheerleaders.
35 players.
I might give Vinny back out of retirement.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, shoot.
So let me ask you this. We said 35 players is the goal, right? You said 35 players to have there. Now, here's the thing. I would advise you on this. Look for consistency over quantity of player. Look for quality. Because what I see is I've seen rosters of 35 to 40 players, but half of them show up to practice. I'd rather have a roster of 30 that 30 show up to practice every single time than a roster of 60 that only 20 show up to practice. Because,
it makes sense.
And that's the hardest thing.
It's always going to stay hard in Europe.
We have to be realistic about this because we are in an amateur league, an amateur sport, not really popular, and everybody's doing either they're still studying or they're working. And then American football comes second. Like if we would have all make a living out of American football, we could shift that to our main priority, which is the American dream. But yeah, we have to be realistic. This is not going to be here for a long time like that. And then if you we have the 2 times practices a week, so you try to stimulate everybody to show up at these practices. I cannot obligate them because if they have to work, they have to work.
No, absolutely.
It's just how it is. So I think that is the biggest issue. I think not only for my team but all over Belgium. If you have your 50% players at practice, if you have 30 guys, 15 show up. If you have 20, you have 10. That's
Kind of.
the thing.
Yeah.
And the moment you can start playing 11 on 11 football at practice, that's when you go to the 2.0 version on the field.
True. Yeah.
You can have that many drills, Kellys, whatever scrimmages. You only get better by practicing game situations, which we play 11 on 11. This has been one of our many color blockades in our program because we don't have that many at practice. I think we had 26, 25-ish players starting the season. And most of the time we have 16, 17 on Tuesday. And then Thursday, kind of 12, 13, because some guys have to work or doing shifts. I also have to work day and night shifts and weekend. If I'm at practice, I'm subbing in some extra hours to start later. Like I said, I'm lucky to be able to do that. Not everybody is as lucky, or they have their own job, or they freelance for others, whatever the situation. But that is the main concern is just numbers at practice.
Yeah.
And if not only for us, but even like if you go to a national team program or international.
All over
I'd be
Europe,
like,
all over
we
Europe,
talk
it's the
about it. I
same
mean,
issue.
like, it's the
Yeah.
commitment part, right?
Mhm.
It's having the commitment. If I tell you I'm going to be there and I'm going to sign up for the team, and if I don't have a work obligation, because I do understand that, if you have a job, that's your job, and you have to make sure that but at the same time, if I sign up for a sport and I put my name on it, I should be committed enough that I know, hey, if I have the time, I have to be there at practice because I'm committed to those other
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
And I get it. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. If you have work, bro, go take care of your work responsibilities.
Mhm.
But the thing is always like when you go and you get the guys that go like, oh, well, I'm just too tired to go from work.
Yeah.
Well, I got other guys here that come from work. They have kids. They have responsibilities. You signed up. I didn't force you to sign up.
Mhm.
But then you still expect to play on game day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the difficult thing, right? Because Nick, when you're committed the way you are, your family's committed. I know Vinny's committed. I know that all these guys that are committed, they go and put in work hours. You adjust your job if you can. You
Mhm.
talk to people to make sure that everything encompasses that. Plus, you're taking time off the field
Yeah.
with your wife, with your
Mhm.
family,
Yeah.
going and promoting the team and doing all these things.
Yeah.
So that's why I go and I say, hey man, the least I can do for a guy like that's going all the way out of his business, if I sign up, is to be at practice when I said I'd be at practice.
Mhm.
And that's the thing that I figured that, is the most difficult part, is when you get the uncommitment from other guys that have said that they're going to commit to you, but always find every excuse not to be at practice, but are there every Saturday taking pictures and being on Instagram with their football
Yeah.
gear on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think a lot of guys don't know the sacrifice that has to be made to play American football.
Yeah.
Many treat it as a Sunday league soccer. where you don't have to practice, just show up, drink some beers afterwards, whatever you do. This is not how it works. And a lot of these guys will kind of find out the hard way, unfortunately,
Yeah.
because that's not how you want to teach them, but it's kind of how it's done. Because if you don't put out the work ethic, either it's in the gym or the watching film, be at practice, challenge other teammates, you won't get better at it. It's like even playing Madden will help. Like with the new generation, everybody's on their Xbox or PlayStation or whatever. I've been playing Madden as well, but it's good to start with American football, but you get better by doing it and by watching film, listen to coaches, and yeah, I think that is something that not everybody understands about the aspect of football and all the stuff that comes with it. To not even talk about the strategic plans or whatever, just getting ready to play American football, the rules, all the stuff. And yeah, that might be the biggest issue or the reason why we're still that many low numbers, because many players come from a soccer team or a basketball team or whatever they've been into. And American football is not, it's the biggest team sport there is. And you need to trust your guys in front of you, behind you, next to you. And that only comes with the work you put in. And that is something I will not say the times are changing, because all the guys who are kind of showing up to join the team are willing to go, even if they're not that athletically gifted. But when we started, it was like, yeah, not a real man, fuck practice. I'm gonna go partying and this and that. I used to know we practice on Saturday morning. We were 4 guys every time we practice, but those 4 guys made the difference in season. 4 guys. Every time we were 100% attendance at practice, and those were the guys that changed the game. And then the moment you get more players following that
example
or the vibe, and hey, these guys practice all the time, let's go, I want to join in with these guys, get better and have some fun, learn American football. That's where your core expands, and that's when you build your team, all by doing that. And it's the little things. It's the little things in football that makes the difference to be successful.
No, absolutely, brother. Yo, guys, we have hit that 1 hour mark.
Yes.
And now I'll be like, hey, we're going to let you go, Nick. We know that you got family, you got things to attend to, bro. Thank you for coming on. If you guys are watching the pod and are in Belgium and are in the Bruges area and are interested in playing this game, the Bruges Broncos are available, baby. They are looking to recruit. They are looking for bodies. We need big old sexy linemen. If you don't think that you can run in soccer, you can run in football. We only need you to run 10 yards, baby.
Exactly.
Maxed out. That's all you need to do if you're a lineman. So, guys, and this is the beautiful thing. It's about all different body types, all different backgrounds come and play this beautiful game. If you guys haven't found your fit in Belgium, there's plenty of opportunity. Nick is down there working his tail off, trying to provide the best that he can for the Bruges Broncos. So please make sure that you guys reach out to him. Make sure that you go out there, man. And if you guys are interested in sponsoring a team, hey, man, Nick is available to talk to you guys and see what he can do for you guys. So, Nick, we can't see what you grow out there, man. We can't wait to see what happens. We'll be contacting you again, man. We're going to bring you back on during the season, before the season, mid through the season, and after the season,
sure.
so he can give us some intake. And I know that, hey, man, guys, the success on the field doesn't just come on the scoreboard. The success on the field is the little wars that you're winning inside that game. And right now, you guys are not on top, but you guys are going to get there through hard work, determination, and working together. And the only way that that can happen, man, is by you guys working with Nick. So Bruges Broncos, if you guys are listening to this pod, get out there, man. Support your guy. He is busting his ass to try to make sure that you guys have a successful program, and it doesn't work without you guys. So, hey, man, until next time, hey, we hope
Yeah.
you listen in. Vinny, you got anything else?
No, maybe if people listen to this and they have a story to tell, they can definitely contact us on Instagram. Everyone is welcome. We're open for a lot of topics surrounding football and your careers and all that. Like last episode, we had a big talk about fate. So we can go into different topics, and I think a lot of things can be talked about around football. So if you have something to tell and you think it's important to tell the world, definitely contact us and we'll have a talk.
Hey man, appreciate it, guys, for the opportunity. Had
Thank
a lot
you.
of fun. You guys doing a wonderful job with the podcast, expanding American football. Like Vinny said, there's a lot of football left to talk about. I
Exactly.
wish you guys all the best. I will be following
you.
you and listening like I already do, and we'll hear each other very soon.
Absolutely. Hey, Nick, hey, man, anytime you need anything, you just reach out, baby. We're here to help. I'll be like,
Appreciate it.
that's what it's all about, growing the game. We want to see sustainable football in Belgium. We want to see it get better. We want to see it grow. And you're part of that, man. Hey, I can hear the bells over there. Only in Belgium do you hear the bells over the podcast.
I literally live next to a church, so
That's Vinny, his alarm clock for soccer.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's lying.
I'm literally, look, I can show you. I'm literally watching already.
Yeah, that's the difference, man. That's the difference. That's the difference. We're fully committed into this podcast. You're watching soccer.
Yeah.
God damn, Vinny.
I've been invested in this podcast for months now.
I know. Just mess brother. Just mess
I've been inviting people, talking this shit with Will.
Hey, he ain't lying. He ain't lying. But you know what, Nick?
know.
Hey, we love it, man. We love what you're doing. And honestly, man, we know that it's hard. We know that there's a lot of things out there that there isn't a guidebook for, right?
Mhm.
And when it comes to building a team and building infrastructure and building what you want to do, which is a powerhouse program, I'll be like, let's be real. You're looking at getting into the kids world. You're looking at longevity of your program through the youth program. You're not building through imports. You're building through guys that are local in your community.
Yeah.
That's what's going to sustain this team. And getting support from your local community, going out there, talking to businesses, talking to people, man, that's what's going to make it sustainable, and that's what's going to keep it growing. So keep doing what you're doing, baby.
I will. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Really.
Well, guys,
Take
until
it.
next time.
Take care, fellas.
You too, brother. Hey, until next time, guys. Hey, we hope you tune in. We hope that you guys are listening. And like Vinny said, if you guys got a story, let us know. Salute.
God bless.